What's up guys, I'm Commander 101 and welcome back to my channel. This video is going to be a little different from what I usually do. I usually try to showcase a mod or something like that, but today I'm actually going to show you some techniques you can use with the new cushion that was added in the newest Minecraft snapshot. This is going to be a little more of a casual video. I don't have a script for this one, Pat just making it up, so it'll be a little slower, but if you enjoy it, then make sure to like, subscribe, and maybe I'll do a few more videos like this in the future. Anyways, let's get right into it. So, if you haven't seen, in the newest snapshot for 26.3 Snapshot 3, Minecraft added cushions. And like a lot of people have been saying, after 17 years of Minecraft existing, you can finally sit down. Finally. This has been a feature that lots of people have wanted for many years, and even the Create mod has a seat that works pretty similar to this. It's a little different actually, and I will say I do think I kind of like this cushion better than the Create mod seat. But basically it has this cool texture so you can make a bunch of stuff with it, and then a really big selling point for it is this. If you use a slab or a stair, you can place the cushion on top of it and it actually aligns to the hitbox. So you can see it aligns to that little ledge there, and you can even put one on top. And then it kind of is slightly smaller than the block, so it blends in. And then you can sit on it and it looks like you're sitting in the chair. And this is really cool because basically how this works is the cushion is an entity, so if you turn on hitboxes you can see it's there. So it's not a block, so it can align to a bunch of different layers. So if I go over here, I have the cushion on a bunch of different layers because you can do the different layers of snow. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different heights, and this one's a full block, so it's the same as a regular block. And then you can place the cushion on every single layer, which adds just so much customizability for a building and stuff. And obviously you're gonna want to use this a little sparingly, because unlike wool, it has kind of an intense texture that's it's very repetitive too, so I feel like it's really good for when you need some detail, but you shouldn't be using it for everything. But you will see that if I go back over here, if you want to be able to sit on this stair, you're gonna have to be really far up on the cushion. So what you can do is you can get a large amethyst bud, place it there, cushion, and then just quickly replace it with a stair, and it won't break. If you don't place it fast enough and break the bud, eventually it will just break. Yeah, so it drops if you don't have a block. But here you can see, since I placed it fast enough, there is only 1 pixel of cushion. It still works just the same, but you're a little lower, and I feel like it just looks a little better. And then what you can even do is you can have 2 layers of snow, a cushion, and then replace it with a stair, and you're gonna see it's just not visible at all. But when I hover my crosshair, you can see the outline on the block kind of disappears sometimes. Like here, I'm looking straight at the block, but it disappears. That's because it's actually still in there, and if you find the right spot, if you click around a few times, you can actually sit on the stair and you can't even see the cushion, but it is still there with the hitboxes. So that's really cool, and it definitely adds some pretty cool functionality that you can use for building, or just if you just want to have a place to sit. Now I'm going to show you a few things that I did. Most of these aren't original. In fact, there's only one that I made up myself, but it isn't a completely original concept. So I'm just going to show them off. I don't know exactly where I got every one of them, but if I do figure it out, I will tell you, and I'll put links to the channels I found them in the description. So let's get into it. So this first one is like a shelf. So basically you have a lever and a cushion. So like I said, the cushion can't just be placed on its own. So if I try to place it like a shelf, it will eventually just pop off. However, if you use a lever, you can see this top part of the hitbox. You can actually place a cushion on there. Just make sure to shift when you do it. And then you can place stuff on top, like I like to put a wither skeleton skull. But the only way to place it actually is to break this, place it on there, and then put the cushion on, because otherwise the cushion gets in the way of you placing it. And then you can also do the same thing with candles. And then you can also do the same thing with candles, just like this. I'll just place it again here. You can place the candles. You will need to place them on a block though. Then you can break this. The candles actually won't break. They can float. This is vanilla Minecraft, everything. And then just place the cushion. And then you can even light it up with a flint and steel, and the cushion won't pop off or anything, and this is just a nice shelf design. So anyways, I got this one from a YouTuber named Rowan. He's a really good building YouTuber. I watch him sometimes, and he made a whole video about a bunch of stuff you can do with the cushions. So some of them are going to be from his video, but there is so much more that he covered in his video that I'm not going to cover in this video. So let's just get on to the next one. This next one is kind of interesting. Honestly, I don't know how much of a fan I am of this one, but you place a cushion on top of your bed. And I don't have a second account, so I'm just going to use a clip from Exumavoid here. He has his second account go into the bed, and you can see it looks like it's sleeping under the covers, which I think is kind of interesting because this is really thick for like sheets. So what I prefer to do is, if you actually have to sleep, then you just sleep normally like this. But if you want to just do it for decoration, you can place cushions under there. I just chose brown so it would kind of blend in with the legs of the bed. Then, just like that, and it looks like you're sitting in the bed. Honestly, I think this is better than the actual sleeping, because it kind of looks like you're sitting up in bed and your arms are over the sheets, and I think it looks great. And then here, you're in the bed. But yeah, that is just another way to spice up your bed a little bit. And if you have another cushion, you can just do that, or you can even cover that. You can still sleep in this bed just fine. You just might poke through a little. This next one is another design from Rowan. It's the umbrella. I created these little like lounge chairs myself, but I had the umbrella from Rowan. So basically how it is just 3 oak fences, or any fence you want. And then I'm going to use mangrove, pale oak, red cushion, and white cushion. And then what you can do is put a mangrove trapdoor here, some pale oak trapdoors around here, and some mangrove to fill in the corners. Then I like to switch the colors, so on the red I put the white, and then vice versa. If you don't want to use trapdoors, then that is completely fine. You can use string. I just think this looks a little better because it's nice and thin, and you can also have this customizable middle. So if you don't like the height of it, you can just change it to a white cushion that is not on anything, or you can put it on like button. Actually that doesn't work, never mind, because of the fence. But I just like to use the trapdoor because it adds a little bit of height to the middle like a real umbrella. Then that was from Rowan, and then here I made my own design. It's just some cushions. So I have a white cushion, a red cushion, and then I have a little, I just like place it in like this. So you flip it open like that, so you have space on here to just crouch and place them, and it places it inside the cushion. And then you just finish it off with wool stairs, and I just did flipped colors for this way. And I think this is a nice simple way to make an umbrella with some chairs under it, and of course you can sit on it. So you can sit under your umbrella on a chair, and you can have another friend next to you too. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna be completely honest with this one. This is a hot tub, and it is my own design, but I did get inspiration from somewhere, and I just couldn't find where I got it from. So I'm just going to show it to you here. I used the same technique that I used earlier to make chairs without a cushion. So basically what I did is I just made all of these chairs out here with cushions, embedded into them. And then I have a soul sand under this cushion that makes the bubbles. And then you can see there's a cushion in the middle because it doesn't take away the soul sand particles. So you can sit in the middle if you want. It does make a lot of sound, and when you get out, it starts pushing you up a lot. But yeah, it's a really cool hot tub design. It's really easy to make, just using the idea that I used before to make these seats, and then a soul sand under the water. Okay, so this one looks really weird because it's actually not a decorative build. What it does is it actually makes you an elevator. So basically how this works is you sit in the seat, and then your head is lined up with this, so you just right click it, and then that moves you up again. It doesn't really work with F5, so I'm gonna have to just show you right now. So you just go up, and you can see in the distance I'm going up a little, and my F3 coordinates are going up a block every single time. And then eventually I get to the top, and I can just shift to get out of this, and I'm all the way at the top. And then it doesn't really work the other way, so you just fall down. If you want, you can try to clutch on one of these seats, but it's kind of hard, and you could just use water instead. But yeah, this is a very simple elevator design. I actually came up with this myself, but then it turns out other people have done it. I think a bunch of other people use like buttons, so like you have a stack like that, and then buttons on the wall, and then you just place it on top of the buttons. And this also works just like mine, but the stairs also work. So once you have that, you can just sit in the bottom and go up. You will notice that if you go up and then try to get out, these do not have any collision, so you're just gonna fall all the way through, which kind of sucks. And what's kind of nice about mine is you can like stop and get out in any layer. Here you would have to like set up, like if this was an elevator with multiple floors, you could set up like a seat out here somewhere. So then you go up, and then you can get out like that, which is probably a better design than clipping through the block, but that's just a few ways to make an elevator with these cushions. And if you click really, really fast, this actually can go really good. So if I'm clicking as fast as I can, and I just messed that up, but you know what I mean. If I'm clicking as fast as I can, then you go up pretty fast. And then you can also use this same way to make a design where you go like this in a line. So you just click really fast. But it is pretty easy to set up, because I didn't mention this earlier. The crafting recipe is just 3 white wool slabs for a white cushion. So it's not as expensive as ice boating, but it is kind of slow. But if you have an auto clicker, I'm sure this can be pretty useful. So this is gonna look really cursed right now, because like I said, you can't put cushions anywhere unless they have a block on them. And also, like I said, cushions aren't a block, so you shouldn't be able to do this, right? Well, you're right, you can't. You can't stack them on top of each other. And if I use snow layers, for example, what I can do is I can set up like a fence over here, so it'll have a smaller hitbox, and then click on the side for snow, and then an orange cushion. Then if you break that, you're gonna notice in a second the orange cushion will pop off. So what you have to do is you actually have to do all of these layers without getting rid of it. It helps to shift. So then you keep going up, and you just keep placing it. I'm just gonna do 4 layers for now. Then what you gotta do is you have a few options. Either you try doing it really, really fast. So if I take a fence and just do that, then it will stay. Even if I break that, that will stay, and that will stay forever. But also, if you are having issues with that, you can do tick freeze, and then you can break stuff, and you have infinite time. Obviously, this does not work in survival, so you will just have to do it quickly in survival. And then one other thing, I forgot to mention, I got this method from Exumavoid, but one thing I don't think he mentioned is you can use a glass pane. So you will see that if you put a fence, you can see the top of it through, and there's nothing you can do about that. So what I like to do is grab a glass pane. I'll use lime because this is green, and then you can barely see it, but it's still supporting it. So if I do tick unfreeze, none of these will break. You'll just see the particles of the fence I just broke and everything, but these will not break. Then what you can do is you can do it for 8, for example, and then you can even do more on top of this if you want. And since there are 16 wool colors, you can make a stack that is exactly 4 blocks tall, so you can use 4 glass panes, and it won't have anything sticking out. And you can see I put the top of this one as white, so I have a white glass pane. You can see if I go in here. And then on the bottom, just to add a little bit extra, I did a red one on the bottom, so I used a red glass pane here, and I did accidentally just break this, so I will have to fix that if I just do this real quick. The bottom one's really easy to replace because you could just place it on the block even when there's a glass pane there, but the rest of them you will have to stack the snow layers, which do get pretty annoying. So, you know what, I'm just gonna make a 16 tall one so you can see what it looks like, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I finished it. This doesn't actually take that long. It's a pretty easy process. I did use tick freeze to make it a little easier so I wouldn't accidentally lose all my progress if I messed up once, but it is definitely possible in survival. I will say it might be fixed in a future snapshot. This might not be intentional, but I do think it looks really cool, and it's a nice way to add maybe some like texturing. And honestly, there is one thing I think you could do with it too. Okay, that took literally forever, but you can stack the cushions and make like letters, and this is like way smaller than if you make letters with full blocks. And there might already be ways that you could make stuff really small, but I don't think you can make this small with any other method, because this is only 5 cushions, which is 1 1/4 blocks. So you can see most of it is taken up by just 1 block, but then it's another 4 pixels there. And I do have tick freeze on, so I put fences in the middle, and I think it should be okay. So moment of truth. Yep, it looks good. So since this is 5 tall, you just need 1 fence in there. If I drop in here, you can see you just need 1 fence. That one just broke because I broke the block under it. You just need 1 fence, and then this last one's sitting on top of the fence, so it actually works with just 1 supporting block. Obviously you need a supporting block for every one along this length, but yeah, it's actually not that bad. And you don't even have to do like panes or anything unless you want to be able to see the bottom of the sign, because the top cushion actually covers up the top of the fence, which is really cool. I don't think I've seen anybody else do this. I just came up with this while filming, so I actually haven't looked if there's anybody that's already done this. But yeah, it's really cool how you can stack these up, and like I said before, it might be fixed in another future snapshot. But for now, this is a really cool building technique, and you can use it in a lot of types of builds, including signs. So that is going to be it for this video. This was a little more of a casual video. It didn't have any script or anything, and if you like that kind of video, then maybe you should drop a like and comment what I should make a video on next time. And also, if you're looking for one of my mod videos, I actually have one in the works, and it probably will be released in the next few weeks. No promises. So anyways, it is a really cool update, and I'm really excited to see what people are going to build with these cushions, because they have just so much detail. like with signs and roofs, maybe with that kind of stuff where it is at an interesting angle. But yeah, that is it for the video, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.